What's up, guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and the figure I want to review today is the DC whatever universe kind of collection. I don't know if it's... yeah, it's DC Universe. I don't think it's technically a Classics though, but it's the Young Justice collection. This is Artemis. I don't watch the show. I don't know anything about the character other than she has something to do with Green Arrow, and this is the figure for her. I got it at Target for $10 because they were on clearance. I got her in Superboy. She is probably going into the fodder bin. Superboy might stay in the collection. I don't know. I haven't decided yet, but I got it for $10, so I got it. I figured I might as well review it for $10. You cannot beat the price or the value, whatever I'm trying to say. You get the idea. Comes with a great little base. Got a target here. The target has these little holes in it because the arrows have little pegs in them. Bum, bum, bum. And they can plug in there, so it looks like she actually shot it. And if you look closely, hopefully you can see it, there are little crack marks, there you go, in the glass target. So it looks like the arrow actually stuck in and it responded or reacted to that. So that's pretty cool. The base has this little bucket to hold all of her arrows, which is a nice little touch, and this is for her bow. It sits right on there. So it's a really cool piece. It comes in two parts, unlike Superboy's, which is fine though. I mean, it snaps together, and if you're putting it on a shelf, it's fine. No problems there. The only real complaint I have with the accessories is these have virtually no paint. These two here in the front have a little bit of gray on the tips. The rest are all just molded in this weird green plastic, so they could definitely use a little bit of paint. And at the original price tag, I think you deserve the paint on there. For $10, I'm not complaining. I'm just telling you what I think. The other thing I really don't like is kind of in the same vein as the paint. Since these aren't painted, and the ones that aren't removable in her scabbard, what is that called? Not a scabbard. Quiver, right? I don't know. They're not painted, they don't match, so that's kind of a bummer. I wish they had the green and black paint job as these ones do. What are you going to do though? She has this nice bow, which is actually nicer than the DC Universe Green Arrow and Red Arrow bows. It's got a little bit of paint on it, which isn't much, but it does have that. This is solid. I kind of wish it was rope and then just had the one snap, but it's okay. Not a real big deal. It does have the snaps in there, so you can use the removable arrows. Those other guys didn't have removable arrows. So see, that works nicely. It's kind of thick here, and her hands are kind of small. I'm pretty sure these are the same hands that came on Wonder Woman. Let's try to get some focus in here. There you go. So her hands kind of are too small for the arrow or for the bow, but you can finagle it so that she holds it, and it's not too bad. It's a little bit crooked, but it's okay. So she can hold it, and since these aren't rope and they're solid plastic, they're a little tricky and they're a little thick to get her hands around. But it does work if you spend the time. Her hand's kind of closed right now, so I'm not going to bother heating it up and stretching it, but she can hold it, and it does look nice. It's a nice display piece for sure, especially on the little base, so that's pretty cool. She, like I said, she has the quiver. It is probably removable technically. Not technically. Actually, here you go. Haven't looked that much at it. It does have a little loop peg there, so it does remove easily. So she can carry that for a nice dynamic pose if you wanted. You could hang it on here, do whatever, you know, hang it right there. Do whatever you want with it. It's pretty cool, or just leave it off. And she's a pretty good figure otherwise too. She has this belt. It's not glued on very well, but that could be readjusted. Same thing with this leg strap. Not too much going on there, but you could fix it. And actually they're not glued, so that's not a problem. A little bit of warping from the packaging, but not a big deal. Standard DC Universe Classics articulation. No ankle rocker, ankle pivot, knee pivot, swivel in the thigh, standard hip articulation, waist twist, ab crunch, head rotates, no up and down movement really on the head, this kind of ball joint shoulder, bicep swivel, single jointed elbow, and a wrist swivel. So standard articulation, pegs in both feet. Paint job is decent. The greens are pretty solid. This one's got a little bit of running, spraying, whatever you call that there, so it's not the best, but it's not bad. And she has these gray details throughout, which is nice. Her skin color is a little bit off though. It's kind of got this olivey hue to it. I don't care for that. And the hair could definitely have used some shading. It's a really nice sculpt, but it definitely could use some shading. Face painting is good. just not really the right color. So otherwise, it's a really good figure. There are a few faults. I'm really tempted to just keep it in the collection since it was such a good price. So I don't know what I'm going to do, but it definitely is worth picking up for a collection, for fodder, whatever. Yeah, whatever. So go find it if you can. Target's running out of these things at this price. I wish I could find the rest of these guys for that price. But who knows? I may end up getting lucky. I may not. Either way, there it is. The DC Universe Young Justice figure. Artemis. Can't really complain too much about this figure. It's a great piece, and I got it at a great price. So I do recommend it, guys. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the rest of my videos, and in the meantime, keep collecting.